Baba. This is Dorena. I'm making this audio so that you can share it with Z and Chris, because we are all on the path of our ascension and nothing has changed. We may be all in different locations doing our own thing. We may even, some of us, be departing this earth plane here soon. But that doesn't make any difference whatsoever. The path of your individual transformation and ascension is still going on. And it's going to keep going. And it's very important that you know this. Maybe I didn't say it enough in the past, but I'm saying it now, that I love you all. I love you. Okay, Baba. We're going to re-look at the process of ascension. Just so you can kind of recap on what ascension is. Now, I'm going to be reading from these teachings on the Ascension Manuals by Joshua Stone. Now, the first thing to remember is we have a physical body. According to these teachings, we have a physical body. We have an etheric body, an astral body, and a mental body. Now, it says here, for these reasons, the path of ascension requires us to master our four bodies so that we may act as co-creators with God rather than reacting as victims of those less developed than us. From one point of view, it can be said that the path of ascension is in the raising or ascending of the energies of these four bodies into the higher aspects of love and light, and thus reflect our divine nature. So the whole process, Baba, is to raise your vibration of these four lower bodies to the soul level so that you can realize that your soul is now in the frequency of God. Therefore, it becomes imperative that once we become conscious of treading the path of initiation and ascension, we learn how to claim our own mastership. So it ain't just about following the ascended masters. It's about becoming one yourself. And so what is it all for? It says here in this manual, it says, we are attempting to reprogram the subconscious mind so that we are the masters of it rather than the other way around. Now listen, we're attempting to reprogram the subconscious mind so that we are masters of it rather than it being a master of us. Y'all see how that works? He says this will have the double effect of being in the driver's seat in terms of thought patterns that both arise within the subconscious minds. So everything that we have received in the past has sat down in our subconscious. We don't know this until we start doing the spiritual work. So the process of initiation and ascension is our attempting to reprogram the subconscious mind so that it would be in agreement with the path of the masters. Now, these four lower bodies that correspond to the physical, the etheric, the astral, and the causal planes, these four vehicles, on the process of ascension, he says, when we bring the light of God into the vehicles of our four lower bodies, we actually begin to raise the frequency of each of these bodies to a higher level. So the process of ascension is not by escaping the lower bodies or the lower realms. It's about transmuting them and raising their vibration. Thus, we move through the various levels of the physical, etheric, astral, and mental bodies until we are functioning at the highest possible sublevel of each of them. And of course, that'd be the soul level. So the goal is to raise the frequency of each of these bodies until we level off at the I am presence, which is your soul consciousness, and then there we basically have ascended. That's what ascension is. That's what it is. Ascension is raising your consciousness and raising the frequency or the vibration of each of these bodies until you reach the I am presence and attain God consciousness. That's the whole goal, is to attain God consciousness. And if you don't do it in this lifetime, you'll be back to do it again. No problem. No problem. You'll be back. That's guaranteed. So I'm giving you all this knowledge, but it's up to you to activate it. It's up to you. The key point to remember here, or that we don't, man does not just have a soul, Baba. Man does not just have a soul, but rather he is the soul, and ultimately the spirit that inhabits the four lower bodies is what reincarnates here on this earth plane. We enter the reincarnation process with these bodies barely formed, and through many births and deaths we evolve these bodies, but individually and as an entire planet as well. So the Ascended Masters talk about the ascension of this planet. The transformation that occurs is called ascension. In that, those operating at lower frequencies are now raised as to have their souls ascend to the frequency of God. And this is what is called the path of ascension. Now listen, the soul in the probationary path starts to tap in to its higher self. And in turn, the higher self begins to turn its attention to the greater self, the oversoul. The part of you that's going through the round of incarnations in the lower worlds. Although not yet on the path of initiation, during this probationary stage, it is at the very beginning. And hence the soul attracts the attention of the inner master and a group of masters to which it has linked by certain cosmic laws of attraction. So you are linked, Baba, to the ascended masters on the inner planes, the temples of light. Now, the phase of initiation on the path of ascension marks the real beginning of the work between the disciple and master. Now, the master has blended his own aura with the disciples as through your first initiation. So your master is working with you on the inner planes, and he sees you not through the eyes of the body, but through the eyes of your aura, through your energy. You can't trick the master. Now, one thing to notice, Baba, Chris, Z, is that your initiation on the inner planes, it's going to correspond to your level of consciousness. And that's going to determine just where you are on the path of ascension. Now, let me say that again. Listen. The level of your initiation, whether that be the first initiation, the second initiation, all of these initiations, they're going to show you where you are on the path of ascension. They're one and the same. They're one and the same. Now, the inner plane ascended masters are available to each and every one of us to help us on the path of ascension. Most initiations, I'm reading here from the Ascension Manuals, most initiations are actually taken on the inner planes. Now listen, most of your initiations, Baba, are taken on the inner planes during sleep. So it is common for disciples and initiates not to be consciously aware of this process. So sometimes you're in the temples of light with Lord Kutumi, Saint Germain, Ascended Master Jesus, and your own inner master, and you don't even know it, because not all the time is this going to be revealed to you in your conscious mind. You can't remember most of your dreams. And all this time you be working with the masters in the temples of light, or they be working on you. Yeah. It happens all the time. So most initiations that you experience are actually taking place on the interplanes during or at night during your sleep. So this is what's happening, Baba. And these masters are real. The only way you don't know they are real is if you tap into them in your consciousness. So you got to tap into them, Baba. And when you do that, they'll tap into you. You tap into them, and they will tap into you. And that's what you got to do, Baba. Chris, Z. Got to tap into these masters. And they will initiate you on the inner planes. And your level of initiation will determine where you are on the path of ascension. Simple as that. But you have to submit to these masters. And it's the more you invoke the masters, the more they're going to tap into your vibration and awaken you and take you back up through the ascension process. So now, here it is again in the Ascension Magnus. And he says here, you have to know that no matter what, if you take one step toward God and the masters, they will take 10 steps toward you. Now that's powerful. It is important to understand that you can request that God and the masters speed up this process of clearing your karma so that you can ascend. You see, we have to clean up our karma. But we ain't going to be able to do this without the help of the masters. It's their job. The lords of karma are in charge of your karma, not you. Now, you can stop creating new karma, but your past karma has to be balanced, dealt with. And the masters are the ones in charge of that. So when you take one step toward them, they're going to take 10 steps toward you. That's powerful. And you can request to them a speed up in your karma. And they'll help you. They'll do it. They'll do it for you. But you have to want it. You have to want it, Baba. You have to want it, Z, Chris. And you have to want it more than you want anything else. Okay. Now, reading here again, it says, when a soul has reached a high enough stage in its development before reincarnating again into the material world, he or she is allowed to spend some lofty or some time within the lofty realm, that'd be your causal realm, which is the true dwelling place of the soul or the oversoul. So when you pass from this life, here's the thing, I thought I had failed in my ascension recently because of all these medical issues and things like that. But now I realize there is no possibility that you can fail. Nothing. Once you tap into the masters and start your path of ascension, nothing can stop you. Not even you. Not even you can stop you. So, whatever you accomplish here on the earth plane goes with you when you leave. So, it doesn't matter if you completely ascended yet. The journey's not over. So when you leave the earth plane, you will go to these higher realms and you'll spend some time there. And this is a place, it says here, this is a place of glorious bliss and divine perception, where from a state of beauty one can look upon all the causes and effects of his own karma through many lifetimes. Now, this is in the causal plane, because the causal plane is what all your karmas are caused. That's why they call it the causal plane, because that's where your karmas get created. Now, when you leave here, that's where you're going to go if you've attained enough consciousness. See, most people just go to the astral and become a ghost and then reincarnate back down here again, and they never know. They're none the wiser. Then they still don't know who they are. But now you and I are on the path of ascension. So when we leave here, we're going to go to the temples of light. We know where we going, Baba. See? So when you leave this body, you'll go with your masters. You'll go with your masters or your chosen master. And you'll enter into those planes, and along with your higher self, your guardian angel, the masters that you've been working with, and the lords of karma. The lords of karma. They'll be waiting for you. And they will decide the most appropriate way in which to work through and adjust your karma. See, you got to work out your karma. Nobody can do that without a master. And so this is it. This is the path of ascension. So now we're coming to the conclusion in Joshua David Stone's Ascension Manual. And it says, we are spiritual beings living in and passing through a variety of spiritual realms. Moreover, we are immortal children of God, and a divine and glorious destiny awaits us all. So, you hear that? Z? Chris? Baba? He says the process of ascension lies in the experiencing, purifying, and mastering all of the realms. Various limitations are experienced as each realm is mastered. So as you have seen your consciousness up the planes from the physical to the astral to the etheric and the mental planes, all the way up to the causal, you're going to be purifying and experiencing and purifying all these different planes within yourself, within you, until you reach the certainty of your I am presence. It's the I am presence. That's your goal. So within each realm, as we evolve, and therefore the energies of the bodies within the realms grow more defined or refined. So see, your energy bodies are connected to these realms. You have a physical body, you have an astral body, a causal body, and all these bodies are also more refined, it says here, vibrating at higher frequencies and thus ascending. That's powerful. That's the process of ascension. You hear me? That's the process of your ascension. There is in reality no death. There ain't no death. But only the passing into higher spheres of learning. Then returning to the lower or denser planes until the lessons are learned and mastered. So ain't no such thing as death, and you just gonna pass into higher spheres of learning in the great cosmic wisdom schools above, and then you'll come back down into the lower and denser planes, and you'll experience these lessons again until you get it, until they are mastered. And that's why I call you all masters, because you have already done this. This 3D temporal world is an illusion. Time is an illusion. Past, present, and future is an illusion. It looks like we're going through a process, but really the process is already over. That is, from in the mind of God. From the causal level, everything below the causal is already complete. Done. It happened in a second. This whole dream of separation and all that. But while you're in it, you will go, or seemingly go, through this process. There is, in truth, an evolution process in time that takes place beyond the spheres. But this is the evolution of the soul after it has passed through the process of initiation, and the soul has fully and completely ascended back to its source. So there it is. There's an ascension process in your dream of time. There is an evolution, but it's not the evolution that you hear about, people becoming apes and things like this. It's the evolution of the soul. So the only thing God's concerned with is your soul. That's it. Because that belongs to Him. So the evolution of a soul is going through this, and it evolves as it passes through the process of initiation. So again, your ascension process and the initiations they're the same. Your level of initiation tells you where you're at on the ladder of ascension. All right. Okay, now I'm going to leave you with a meditation. And this meditation is from the same book, from the Ascension Manuals. It's a beginner's guide to It's a beginner's guide to ascension by Joshua David Stone. Now, so I'm going to read here this technique that I'm going to leave you with. And so practice this and you'll tap into your inner masters, and your inner master will show you everything you need to do. And here it is right here. Number 1, assume a relaxed position, either lying down or seated. Take a few deep, long, comfortable breaths. Allow the body to relax to a greater degree with each breath. 4, think either upon God as pure love or upon your chosen master with whom you feel a particular connection in the energies of love with. And number 5, once you have found the master upon whom you wish to meditate, call to him, either silently or aloud, asking him to fill you with divine energy and unconditional love. Number 6, now focus on his presence as if being held within the cave of the heart. And number 7, allow yourself to focus within the third eye as your spiritual eye, while quietly calling the master's energy into that area. This will link the heart and mind together. And number 8, relax deeper and simply seek to feel the divine presence. You got to feel it. You got to feel it to own it. And number 11, it says, while doing this, allow yourself to merge with the feeling of love until you, the master, and God are one, blended in the energies of unconditional love. Number 12, stay in that place as long as you are comfortable, and you allow this to just permeate into every cell of your being. Let it flow from the tip of your toes to the top of your head. Let it flow from your higher self and conscious mind to your subconscious mind. And number 13, when you feel ready to come out of this meditation, thank God and the Master. You thank God and you thank your chosen master for their help. And finally, he says, when you feel ready, slowly arise from this state of meditation and continue your day. And allow yourself to drift off again to sleep at night, knowing that you have been blessed and that you are one with God and the Master. And if you go about your day, it says, following this meditation, remember to hold that energy within you as a precious gift that has been given. Remembering also that it is a gift upon which both you and the masters can continue to build and enhance, so that ultimately, you yourself are a perfect manifestation of the divine love of God on earth. So now, I have given you the keys to ascension here on this recording. Now it's up to you. It's up to you to apply it. For the master can only work for you if you let him work through you. And that's your choice. That's your part. You do have a role to play. And again, the more you tap into the master, the more he will tap into you. And then you'll achieve your ascension in one lifetime. But it's up to you. It's up to you. And finally, you are all masters in the mind of God. So Master Baba, Master Chris, and Master Z, focus on your ascension. Seek for God realization. Nothing else matters. Nothing. That's what I'm leaving you with. That is all. Peace.